Welcome to Cancun International Airport. In this video, we tell you everything you need to know to fly in and out of the second busiest airport in Mexico. Hey everyone, Trey here for 2Gate Expats. We are here at Terminal 3, the main international terminal at Cancun Airport. Andy and I have flown in and out of this terminal dozens of times, so we know it well. The same goes for Terminal 2, the main domestic or national terminal, which we'll highlight as well for you in just a few minutes. But first, let's show you what you can expect on an international arrival to Cancun Airport. After landing, most international flights to Cancun will arrive in Terminal 3, with a handful of airlines operating from Terminal 4. In this video, we're deplaning in Cancun from a Delta Airlines flight, but other US carriers like American Airlines, Spirit Airlines, and United Airlines also operate from Terminal 3, as do Air Canada and British Airways for our Canadian and British friends. Once you enter the terminal, you will immediately see signs directing you to baggage claim and passport control or immigration. Keep following both of these signs. For some perspective, if you look out the hallway windows back to our plane, you can see our arrival gate. You can also see that a quick shower has popped up, which can happen anytime in Cancun and the Riviera Maya, which extends south to Tulum. But if it does, it'll typically clear up in about an hour or so. If you're looking for the best weather, we highly recommend coming in December through April, which is mostly sunny skies and it's very dry. It's also known as high season, when the airport will be at its busiest. Now let's speed up this walk a little bit to get us down this long hallway. I thought it would be helpful to show the entire walk from the plane to your ground transportation to minimize any stress you might have on flying into such a busy airport. While we're walking, I'll reconfirm that Mexican immigration, or INM as it's known locally, recently eliminated the FMM form or tourist card in a pilot program to speed up entry at the country's busiest airports. 5 airports, including Cancun, Cozumel, Los Cabos, Puerto Vallarta, and New Mexico City, are all a part of the pilot program. If you are flying in or out of any of these airports, you no longer need to complete the form. If you are flying in or out of any other airport in Mexico, however, you still need to complete a blank form, which is available in the immigration hall on arrival. All right, we are finally nearing the end of the second hallway, where you'll find an escalator and stairs down to Mexican immigration or passport control. Next, you'll pass underneath a sign for INM before you enter the immigration hall. At the bottom of this escalator, I'll have to turn off my GoPro for processing, but not before I snap a photo for you of the immigration hall. International tourists will head to the right, while citizens and residents will head left. For Americans and Canadians to enter Mexico as a tourist, in Cancun for example, you will only need to have your passport. INM will add a stamp in your passport and then write in the number of days up to the 180 days allowed as a tourist. To be prepared for the INM officer, it's always a good idea to have your return flight and accommodations reservation handy just in case they ask for it. As soon as you exit immigration, surprise, you will find a duty-free shop on your left, followed by the baggage claim carousels straight ahead on the right, where you can then collect your checked baggage. Across from the baggage carousels is the exit, where you may or may not have to undergo a customs screening of your baggage. By the exit, you'll also find a Secretary of Agriculture office to obtain your pet inspection certificate if you brought a pet with you. It's quite easy to bring your pet on vacation with you, but it can be a little tricky. And since we've already learned all the things not to do, we made a video on Mexico pet travel that we'll link for you in the description below. Once you clear customs, you now have to run the gauntlet. If you are renting a car, here you'll find numerous car rental desks in this long hallway. But if you are not renting a car, then proceed quickly outside. Do not stop. Simply and politely but firmly say no gracias or no thank you to anyone and everyone that tries to engage with you in this hallway, but keep moving to the exit. There are timeshare salesmen and other salesy characters here who will try to get your attention, but know that all of the ground transportation is outside. If someone is waiting for you as you've pre-booked your taxi or car service, which we highly recommend, your driver or a company representative will be there waiting for you with a card outside with your name on it. Once outside, it's a little bit of a chaotic scene here. You'll find lots of people with their cards in the air with names on them, as well as the ground transportation desks and the Air Margaritaville bar, which is a good spot to meet friends from another flight or as a prearranged meeting place if your party gets separated. If you want a private luxury car transfer to your hotel, you can book a Mercedes with a long-standing tour company called Greyline. We'll add a link to this highly rated option in the description below. Or if you're looking to save some pesos, you can go to the Areo kiosk outside and book a luxury bus to downtown Cancun, Playa del Carmen, or Tulum. When we don't have our dog, this is our preferred method of travel. Today, however, we do have our dog, so we rented a car in advance with Alamo. We stopped at the Alamo desk across from the custom exit to check on the next available shuttle, and the awesome Alamo representative is now personally walking us directly to our shuttle, which is waiting for us outside. This is also the location where the Areo buses depart, just on the left. We've rented with Alamo a number of times and really appreciate their no-hassle professional service. We also like that Alamo is located directly across the street from a Pemex gas station, which is super convenient when we return the car. So you've had an amazing vacation and are returning to Cancun Airport for your departing flight. We recommend that you plan to arrive 3 to 4 hours in advance. Not only is there a good deal of road construction to improve the airport's access, there's also been a record number of tourists arriving here in Cancun. As such, traffic can get backed up, especially later in the afternoon. If you are taking the Areo bus, they also provide great signage at the stations, so you'll definitely know which terminal to get off at. Of note, the Areo bus also drops off at terminals 4, 2, and then 3, so your terminal is likely last if you have an international flight. You're also probably wondering now, hey, what about Terminal 1? Terminal 1 is used exclusively for private and chartered flights, so you're probably not going to be on a bus if this is your departure terminal at Cancun International. On our way to return our rental car and shuttle back to Terminal 3, let's talk about the recent Cancun visitor tax, or the tourist tax, that was implemented in April of 2021. This tax only applies to international tourists traveling in and out of Quintana Roo State. Your airline may email you about it, but know that it's completely voluntary at this point. We paid it once online when it first came out, but no one has ever asked us about this tax at the airport. All of the taxes that are required by the government are already included with your ticket price. Entering Terminal 3, you will find the airline check-in desks and the self-serve kiosks to print your boarding pass. Across from the American Airlines check-in area is a Starbucks if you're a cold brew fanatic like we are. Yes, we do support local coffee shops, but it's sometimes hard to find a decent cold brew. Continuing on to security, you'll also find an I&M desk just before the escalators. This desk served a greater purpose before the pilot program for tourists who may have lost the lower portion of their FMM. After security, you will exit through duty-free into the main hall with yet another I&M office, restrooms, and the food hall. There's also one lounge here, but unfortunately, it's no longer part of the Priority Pass program, so no more free access for us. But make sure to keep an eye on the time, any gate changes, and the boarding announcements on the monitors. For another travel tip, request a seat on the left side of the plane for incredible views on takeoff of the Cancun Airport, the Cancun Hotel Zone, and the many beautiful beaches in the Mexican Caribbean. Now, if you are arriving and departing from Terminal 2 on a domestic flight within Mexico, this is a very similar and even simpler airport experience than Terminal 3. First, you can walk from Alamo or the One Hotel at the airport. There's a new pet-friendly Hilton Garden Inn that I stayed at recently before a super early flight to Querétaro. Booking a hotel at the airport was super relaxing and made my whole travel day less stressful. There's a beautiful pool and a pool bar at the Hilton, along with a modern gym poolside. From the higher floors, check out this great view of the airport and spectacular sunset. The rooms are clean, spacious, and fully equipped for everything you would need for a comfortable night's stay. There's free Wi-Fi, a desk with numerous USB ports to charge your devices, and even a mini fridge. Lastly, there's an on-site restaurant with delicious and well-priced nightly specials. I really enjoyed the Monday night 50% off chicken nachos. I'd definitely stay here again. All right, back at Terminal 2. Andy and I have flown both Volaris and Viva Aerobus many times from this terminal. We like both airlines and fly them interchangeably. The check-in desks are also right next to security here. Once you clear security, there's a food hall and an escalator up to the lounges. In Terminal 2, one of the lounges is thankfully a Priority Pass lounge. This perk is often a credit card benefit for US cardholders, so double check if you already have it. Now, if you are flying into Terminal 2, it's basically the same setup as Terminals 3 and 4, except there's no immigration to clear and it's much, much smaller. In this terminal, you collect your bags in the same area as the car rental desks. As you exit the terminal, you can see the red ADO buses right across the street from the welcome bar. Similar to Terminal 3, there will be taxi and car service companies holding cards with your name on it if you had pre-booked your ground transportation, or you can head to the row of desks of official taxis and car service companies, as well as the ADO bus ticket counter, in order to purchase your onward transportation. For ADO, note you will receive a pink ticket from the counter with both a bus number and an assigned seat number on it. It can feel a bit chaotic at times here, but it's actually very well organized. You can match the bus number on your ticket with the bus number on the front and the side of the bus if you're in doubt. ADO fares are also insanely affordable compared to a taxi or a car service, which will cost at least 2,000 pesos or around $100 for a trip to Tulum, for example. In comparison, ADO charges just 365 pesos, which is under $20. Well, that's it for us here at Cancun International Airport. We certainly hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, do us a favor and smash that like button for the almighty YouTube algorithm and consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Hasta luego!